Well, the verdict in. The biggest lead was from Shawnee Grows there for Privet Berry. She did good. Second runner up was Wild, but Uncle Al was third because he said not to eat it. There was a few people that said it was other berries, but it wasn't. But Shawnee Gross was the first in and absolutely correct. So it's a privet berry, and you get to change the title on it soon. And a footnote that your eye and your spirit did well there, Shawnee Gross. It's you did good. I didn't answer it. I couldn't, but now that I've looked at the privet berry lots, it's a privet berry. It's that European one, definitely. And it's not edible, like Uncle Al said, but Wild Edibles did a lot of legwork too. So she's second place. So when they show up today, I'll have a chat with them. Hopefully they show up. Thank you for the thumbs up, my anonymous follower. Blessings to you. Wild Edibles. Hey, there you are. Hey, you're a runner up. But yeah, you're right. You're right. It is a privet berry. Absolutely. Yeah, without doubt. And it's not to be eaten. So, yeah, that was a cool chase. I looked at all that stuff you sent. It was very cool. And good morning. Hi there. Yes. Just waiting on my coffee, so I'm a little silly still. Yep. But yeah, interesting. Hey, I'm here. I just looked up. I've never seen them myself. Just did a bunch of digging. Yeah, I noticed that you did a lot of digging. And that's good. That's the best part. Learning. Hey, I didn't know what they were when I seen them, and it had the very interesting book. Yeah, very interesting. It's a no go. Nice flowery show. I found it all and looked at everything, and it's a pretty looking thing. But I noticed no birds were eating that. None around here anyway. That's not indigenous or native to here. It's just not. So yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's the mystery solved. But now I have two other mysteries. It's very pretty. Choke cherries are better. Oh, you can eat them. Absolutely, they sure are. I made cabbage rolls yesterday and fake mashed potatoes from cauliflower and a veggie soup stock. And I made a decision yesterday. It's definitely privet. I looked at all the leaf structure and the nodes, and everybody's input. Odom's Homestead, happy Monday. Well, Odom, you can call me Howie. I'm just like you, regular Earthling. Yeah, I'm Howie, you're Odom. See? We're just talking about the privet berry. Everybody had input on it. It was a berry that I could not identify in my locale. Hi there, happy Monday. Yeah. Happy Monday. That's cool. Happy Monday. So we're just talking about who was first in with the answer, and I believe it is Shawnee Grows. There was a few people that said it was a this berry or that berry, and it's not. You have to be careful. This was a very toxic berry that looked like other berries, like that you would eat. And so it's really good, nice to really do your homework and make sure. Never heard of it before. Um, Neither have I. This is all learned. It was in my neighborhood, but it's down a street that I rarely go down because there's gangs type people down that way, and I just like to avoid them. I don't want to interact at all. So I would never go down the street. Once in a while, once a year maybe. But I was walking down a few days ago, and there it was loaded odom. Odom, it was just packed. It's on the video, and it's just packed. And I didn't know what it was, but between there's some really good observant researchers around on this YouTube. Wild Edibles had it figured out and congratulated the Shawnee Grows there. Shawnee Grows was the one that was in first. Uncle Al was with the dire warning. He was like, Die Bullfrog 79. I don't know if you know him or not, but he comes in here once in a while. He's a really smart guy. And he's like, nope, wouldn't need it. And he equated it to when the Romans would poison people with it. I was like, yeah, wow. Al's like smart, hey? So Wild Edibles did a ton of research on it. Boy, she found a ton of videos on the exact berry. And I wonder how it tastes. No, you don't want to wonder. No, Odom, no. It's a poisonous berry. It's toxic. You wouldn't want that. Although it does look delicious. But I'm glad I didn't try it. Yes, I just dug up what Shawnee suggested. There's like 4 different ones in my book. They look differently. Yeah. Shawnee was all over that. So yeah. So if she comes on here, I'll congratulate her and yeah. Well, I'll say the rest when I see her. Oh, it's toxic. I'll pass. I know, right? And the thing is that berry looks just like to me it looked like a black huckleberry, but it wasn't on the leaf was somewhat similar, but not no. But to the untrained eye, you would have eaten it. So, and then Broke Farmer, he said it was a conia berry, and he figured it might be, but it did, and it looked very similar, but it wasn't. So, and then there were a lot of other people said it was a lot of different berries, and it wasn't. And olive family, but it's toxic. Yes. Yeah. Now, whether you can take that toxin out or not, now that's a whole new ball game right there. And oh, it's toxic. I'll pass. Yeah, but it's worthwhile going checking on. I'll tell you, and having a look. And so, but there was a lot of people that commented on it, and that's what it's all about. And it is of the olive family. You're absolutely right. This is, olives too. You can't eat olives straight from the tree. You have to brine them, and or you can't use them. You'll use it once, and then you'll spit it out, and you'll never eat it again. Okay. Mountain ash is easier to deal with, or elderberry. I fully agree. One time these robins were eating the mountain ash berries, and they had been through most of the winter, so they were like alcohol, I guess, inside, because they're falling down like they're drunk. And they were eating them, and there was lots of them, and they were all drunk. And I'm looking at them going, what the hell's wrong with these birds? I could walk right up to them. They were so docile. Normally they'd fly away or something like that, And no, No, God, no. It it was incredible to see that they're like totally drunk. Mm, yeah. So it's Monday morning. Freeze and cook it, removes toxins sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. Can't take a chance. Gotta know for sure. So, yeah. Freeze and cook it, removes toxins sometimes. Yeah, I need to positively know. And if I'm not, and on those leaves, there's no bugs ate those leaves either. No birds ate those berries. But even though, like the robins like the little crab apples here now. I bet, hey, I bet because they'd be sweetening up. Oh, I love crab apples too. Crab apples are so good for you. Hey, good morning, Make It by Mandy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yep, yep. You need to look up the exact toxin to find that. Exactly. You don't need a problem. So that it's definitely after I looked at them. Now I have two more. I don't know. I'm like one. I don't even know if it gets a berry. Dave Knight. Good morning. Good to see you, Dave Knight. And the other one is this herbaceous like shrub, and it kind of looks like thyme and like a lemon thyme or something. And I'm like, huh. And I don't know what that is. And I haven't put it up yet. And I'm like, well, first I got to solve the first one. And then the other one I never bothered solving because it was just I don't know. I've never seen it. Nobody knows anything about it. And it's like, but I mean, I will go back to it, but I'm not going to get stuck on it. So, yeah. Good morning, Mr. Knight. Just discussing that privet berry that I found in my neighborhood. It's good to have mysteries in the winter. Yeah, right. It was fun actually. But I have these two other. One video is up. And it was on like Christmas Day. I found it or something. It was December 25th. Yeah, and the other one I found a little while ago here, just a few days ago, and I haven't a clue about it. It looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous, and it's in this yellow flower. And I no, still nothing. And see, the thing is here, it's a mild marine temperate climate, so they can grow things from like New Zealand, northern high altitude Mexico to Texas to southern France. Stuff that grows there will grow here, and it's Canada, but it's not like the rest of Canada. Oh, I need coffee. Hi, Dave. Dave, where's the coffee? Dave's not here. Where's the coffee? Be right back. I need coffee, man. Oh, hey, me too. Making coffee. You guys can all come over for coffee. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now I'm ready for a live stream. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it was an interesting mystery. It was very interesting. And I learned a lot about other berries too along the way. But I definitely would not eat a privet berry. They're not edible. Mm-mm. Expect some problems if you're going to eat that. But you know what? If I was hungry and I didn't do my research, I probably would have consumed it. That's sad, man. That's really sad. Poor Howie gets taken out by a little tiny berry. Hey, Pilgrim, listening and driving. Good to see you, Pilgrim. My coffee is cold. Maybe stick it on the wood stove. Maybe. But I am glad that it was mostly Shawnee and Wild Edibles that did the legwork on that. I did a bunch too, but I wasn't convinced until yesterday. And I looked at 4 different kinds from 4 different parts of the world. And the one that looks the most similar was the one that Johnny grows through out there. She's a little go-getter, hey? She's impressive. Well done. Check out her channel if you don't know her. I think everybody in here does because she's she's moving up in the YouTube world. Good on her. There was a few interesting. Some people that it was, if you go back and look at the comments, there was quite a few comments, but some people are like, just eat it, and I'm like, no, let's say not. No, but she has lots of energy. Yes, growing nicely. Yes, she certainly does. She can handle her own too. I've seen people ask her questions and stuff and try to, get her to talk and stuff. She could handle her own, and everybody in here can. You have to govern accordingly. And when I first went on YouTube, I never did a live stream for years. I didn't even know how. And then I finally started doing a live stream, and that's where I met Mandy years ago on this lady's channel that she used to have. She don't even like you saying her name. But anyway, she ended up moving to Arizona. She now has another channel. She comes in here once in a while. But before that, I never really went on YouTube because I didn't know or understand the way YouTube worked. Yeah, I love that lady. She's awesome. Yeah, she is. She comes in here once in a while. She's very cool. There's a lot of cool people on YouTube, but you sure can bump into a lot of people that are not so nice, man. And they're just there to glean your information and cause you problems years later. It's like, really? That's your life? Really? And, my dad always told me people will just end up be the ruination of themselves. You don't need to go and do anything that's rash or particular. She was local to me. I have a gift she gave me before she moved. Oh, wow. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, she moved to Arizona. So, and she's happy. And she was happy here too. She was always jovial. So that was really cool to meet someone that's jovial. And her husband, I think she took care of her husband there. And at least I think it was her husband. But yeah, I didn't do a live stream for 2 years. Sometimes it feels like I'm talking to the man in the mirror, talking to yourself. Yeah. Well, it's very clicky with this YouTube, whether people actually get the notification that you're thinking about, or sometimes I was thinking, well, maybe nobody gives a butt about about gardening or whatever. And then I found some gardening channels, well, supposedly gardening and survivalist channels, and they weren't. Sure, they tried gardening, but that was just a cover to glean people's private information and play scam games. And I was just like, but I didn't figure it out for years because I'm just not looking for it. I'm just there to, if you're a survivalist, then that's pretty much what I am, and a bit of a prepper, but I don't need all the prepping stuff. I can just live anywhere at all. It wouldn't bother me in the least. So that was what I was drawn to different channels in the beginning. Now I'm not drawn to any channels other than like-minded, and I see that you're showing love. You're not just you're not just saying, hey, peace and love, but you're actually showing peaceful ways and you're showing loving ways. So it's a bit different now for me. I guess I'm a little calloused from the YouTube streets. But you just want to have a social type time too. So that was part of it. But you have to be careful with your private information. There's not everyone's nice on here, I'll tell you that. Mostly the ones that come here are really nice. I'm more the camera woman. Yeah, it could take a while to find your tribe on YouTube for sure. Yeah, the village for you, absolutely. Oh, my village is here and my coffee's here. YouTube family. I never ever thought I'd have a YouTube family. I mean, I have family, I have kids, I have brothers and sisters, and but they might call you once a year. My brother just called me a year ago, or 2 years ago. He called me. He's like, "Oh, blah 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 blah." I don't even remember what the hell he said. I don't even like him that much. I mean, of course, I love the guy, but I don't like him. And the ones I do like, they come by once in a while. But yeah. Hey, Arky's here. Good morning, Arky. Good to see you again. Absolutely. My aunt texted me, it's not your birthday. Why is Facebook saying it's your birthday? Exactly. There's um there's devious people in this world now. There's different levels of malevolency. Yeah, yeah. Good to see you, Arky. Always pleasure. Ark Wildman. Well, that's a survivalist right there. He can just live anywhere. And he's happy. Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of the Newfoundland people there, Arky. They're tough as nails and they can live anywhere and they're happy. They learn to be Mr. Survivor. Like I like that. Hey, I can just go and cook a salmon on the beach and catch it, or pick clams or oysters, or I used to hunt, but I don't do that anymore. But when I was younger, I'd be gone for a long time just walking around because this place is huge, right? And yeah, mm. One time I was up this river and I caught some fish and had smoked some salmon. I was young, and along comes this guy. He's got a huge beard and he's got his fishing pole and he's got his little pack and a bedroll, and he didn't look like he'd been around civilization for a long time, and ended up smoking some salmon with him, and geez, never seen the guy again. I know it's a little tiny town, but he was out there, you know, he's out there. Yep. Adrian, welcome, welcome, welcome. I had to tell Auntie it's not good putting your info out there. No, 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 no. I was out with Mrs. V last week, and the till lady's like, "Oh, and what's your phone number?" I'm like, I tug on her arm. Don't give her your phone number. It's because she asked for it, because she just used the credit card. And then it was a funny looking credit card. So I said, look, I'll be needing a receipt from that. And she looked like, oh no. She had a tag in her hand. Well, like one of those tags. She put that item in and then wanted her number. And because she used the credit, it's a total scam store. And it was a big box type store for clothing and boots and stuff. I thought, screw you. I'm not letting you rob me. Not without a fight, anyway. Our wild man could survive anywhere too and teach others. That's what he does. He's the best. It's he he's the best. He's a good man, a great living spirit. I love the guy. I've never even met him. So, but maybe one day. I've met a lot of bad people on YouTube streets. Yup, mostly working for the gent that I do. Trolls come out of the woodwork. I just ban them all. Yeah, that's what you got to do. What really helps is you go to their channel and just ban anything coming and going. That's what I did. I have hundreds of people that I've banned. Anybody going to that troll channel, you don't need. I'm sorry, and I don't have time. But then they have a little bit of information on you, like your email or your address, and they're a bunch of bastards, man. And they know it. They like it. And that's the sick part. Puff, puff, pass the smoked salmon. Yep. Negative comments. I read them, then take a few minutes before I answer them. I wouldn't even answer them. Arky saying low. Yep. I look at the comment. Is there any truth in it where I can grow? If so, I tell them, thank you, much love. Adrian is saying, hello, Mandy. If they are just rude, I delete it if I need to, but usually I do not have a problem. Yeah. They go away and bother someone else that's weaker. That's pretty much it. Yeah. The bigger the channel, the more trolls come out. Trust me, laugh out loud. You're not a troll, are you? I don't know. Careful how you use positive and negative words. I'm just kidding, Mandy. You're very observant, Mandy. Extremely. I don't know. Let's see the positive and negative numbers. Positive, that's positive. No, that's negative. That's negative because that's ego. Definitely, that's positive. Not, that's positive. A troll, negative. Next one would have been positive. So you're telling the truth. Learned that from a truth machine. Yeah, I hung out with a criminologist for a little bit. And I hung out with a handwriting expert for the government. I actually dated her for a while. She was interesting. Yeah. I generally don't date. I'm not a dating type guy. Yeah. You are cracking me up, Howie. Let's do another positive and negative check. No, I'm just kidding. I laugh at them and say, thank you for watching. Yeah, participators are haters and haters are participators. That's why I'll look at them. Cheers. I had 3 cabbage rolls for breakfast. I've been getting into diabetic meals where I'm leaving out the rice. That's what I didn't have rice in my cabbage rolls because it's such a high carb. And there was some really smart people here last night, and they're 2 very intelligent people, more than I am. And I do all right. I'm not the best or anything, but These guys learn constantly about everything. And the topic last night was Siri and how they have to pay out all this money for listening in on people's private time. And yeah, and they have to pay out so much money to all these millions of people. And even if it's turned off, they still listen to the AI. And there's two guys here last night, men that I've been friends with most of my life and are like family and brothers. So I got to hear some pretty cool stuff about even your facial reactions that's been videotaped can be distinguished what you're actually thinking about. I have to let the dog out. Excuse me for. Okay, there we go. What's Wild Edible saying? Your cabbage roll dinner looks super yummy. It is. It's delicious. I've had 1, 2, 3 people with my cabbage rolls. I gave them away, and showing some love. Right. One lady, she's looking after her husband at the hospital. She don't have time to go and make food so much, and she didn't put up her Christmas lights this year, and her papa died, and so I bought her over 3 big cabbage rolls and all the trimmings. She was very happy. And I brought over my I had when I had problems, I some medical equipment that I had that I don't use anymore. I passed it off to them for the guys coming out of the hospital. So that was cool. So the cabbage rolls was a smash hit. And there's a chef on YouTube I met about a year ago on YouTube, and I dedicated one of the videos to her. She is a fantastic chef of making meals from like not complicated, easy ones to complicated ones. Like it's pretty cool to see. I get some people saying that they can't understand my voice at times and can be rude in their comment, but that's okay. I can be hard to understand, put on closed captions and watch a video of mine. Exactly. You could make someone a good wife with cooking skills, Howie. You're a funny guy, Dave. Funny you say that, Howie. Just watched a video on how much our phones spy on us. I know, right? So I shut mine off as much as possible for the electro smog, but I did an experiment because of them guys. And what I did was I came back from a meeting and I was pissed. And when I'm pissed, I can think really good. Okay. And I came back from someone that was menacing and malevolent and malcontent, and just dealing with that person was, and they're very professional, but what a malevolency is on a high level in that organization. What a, anyway, I got tired of it. So I had a full charge on my phone. Okay. So I shut the phone off completely. Okay. With a full charge. I put it in the glove box and went in the house, slept. Next day, went out, picked up the phone. It was black screen and the battery was almost dead. What's that tell you? Right? That's just like, nah, no, that's remote viewing. That's remotely, even though you have it turned off, that don't mean shit. So them guys last night, they said, well, where's your Faraday cage, Howie? It's the microwave's right over there. That's where you put it. And you can go and put it in that microwave. Try to phone it. It doesn't ring because it doesn't. Simple as that. Right? The further you go underground, the least possibility of that phone ringing. It's just not going to work. But I was pretty peeved when I came back from that meeting. I thought malevolency is at a whole new level in this world, and they're high up there in the, like, I can't say too much, but man, they were caught freaking red-handed lying and not doing their job and making crap up. I was pissed. But thank God I take my medical representative wherever I go with me. And I take and that's with my lawyer, and everything is freaking bit audio taped and sometimes videotaped. Yeah, I never miss a mark on that. It's all cataloged, and the chronology is there. And when someone's lying, I just hit the freaking roof, man. I think they knew it too, because yeah. That's about all I got to say. Yeah. No wife there. No, Dave. Funny you say that, Howie. Oh, yeah. My voice is a reminder that I can be strong and overcoming lots, so people can say what they want to. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I don't get butthurt. But when you're lying about my personal health and life, then I got a problem with that. You're getting in a lot of trouble. And, I never had a problem understanding you well. Me neither. Most people don't, but some do, and they are just trolling me for an angry response. Yeah, right, hey? What's her name again, Howie? What an angry response. I'm not putting my phone in the microwave. Someone would cook it. Well, lucky you. That's terrible. I'd have been pissed too. Well, I was trying to keep my composure, Yeah. Oh, the chef lady, Chef Mama Bliss. Yeah, I met her at on a channel, and like a year ago, and kept in touch. Watch her videos, she watched mine, and then I bumped into her on the YouTube streets a couple of places, and then every now and then she'll watch my cooking videos. So I thought, well, I'll shout her out. So it's on there. I just put it up this morning. And there's a link there. You can go and see. She has a company like type thing where she makes all the food for people and banquets and stuff like that. And very cool person, really nice person. And she just makes. Last thing I saw her make was just recently was a peach cobbler. It looked pretty dark good. And but I've seen her make a lot of things over the past year or so. Yep. Wild mint. Oh yeah. I don't have a microwave. I got rid of mine probably 22-ish years ago. Yeah, I tore mine out. I never even used it. And I tore mine out, threw it out. I put up a real hood and lights and everything. I didn't junk. That's terrible. I have been pissed too. Yeah. I actually held my composure pretty good. But when this is my life you're dealing with here, and when you're lying about it and being a malevolent piece of dirt, that's what that person was. They're malevolent, man. And they didn't even read over any of what the tech presented. And the person said, "Oh, I already familiar with me, right?" I thought, I met you once when they stuck me by a garbage can for 9 days at the hospital. I met you once for 3 minutes. How the hell can you know anything about me? You never ever called me back, blah, 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 blah. But it didn't matter. She already knew that. It's no good to tell someone that they're malevolent and bad and contrite. They already know that. That's the problem. You're not going to shock them out of it. So what do? Avoid, and avoid some more. And yeah, they're always in trouble anyway. But that organization, they're always in trouble over some crap they're pulling on some people. Anywhere else in the world, you go to a hospital, they fix you up and bandage you up and send you on your way. Not this one. Not anything around here. Maybe some people that are in the back room, but I see a lot of bullshit. And I do see some goodness too. And it's not all bad, but the people at the top are dirtbag, malevolent pieces of shit. That's my personal opinion. And I've seen it time and time and time and time and time again. Like fucking assholes, man. Sorry about the language, but there's got my rant on this morning, and I even cussed, which I rarely do. Yeah. Well, yeah, BC is in trouble, but the rest of us are not good either. No. And it's the same people at the top. It's all orchestrated. I got to calm down because I can get pretty irate, and I'll tell the frickin' truth probably too much. But the word's out. I mean, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And they put on these nice things like a good friend of mine. Well, not a good friend of mine, but a good friend of my friends. They used her good name and, oh, look, we're all the best here. Well, the very next day they're in trouble again for either throwing someone on the sidewalk and leaving them there at the bus stop when they're sick and dying or some shit like that. Hey, it's just crazy, man. And it's always the same sons of bitches at the top, the same ones. And they don't, you complain about them and you're in a lot of trouble, even though you're told, well, if you put in a complaint, it wouldn't affect your care. Bullshit. That's just a farce. That's, what would my dad call that? The heights of bullshit. Yeah. You want health care? Go to another country and another institution. That's what my American doctor told me, because you're not going to get it where you are. Obviously, if they were going to help you, they would have. He's like, you have to go to Germany, go to the United States, but just don't bother going here. And it's all orchestrated. And you see the government, oh, we're going to fix this. No, you're not. You're part of the problem. You're the one that's orchestrating it with your bureaucrats. So bullshit. And people are sick of it here. You see people walking around with signs on the placard. They're unhappy with what's going on in there. And you see it all the time. You see it on Reddit. You see it on like people putting up notices, leaving a note on people's cars that how awful things are. Why isn't that in Japan? Why isn't that like that in Germany? Really? You think you're that, when they sit there and don't answer your question, that's immature. And that's what they'll do. Like when you're asking your doctor, or they just don't answer the question. So you know what I said? I said, does it feel like kind of good that you think you're the only person in the universe right now? Just put your head down like this. It's true. You're a narcissist. You're a narcissist, the worst kind. You're narcissistic, and they pretend to be, oh, I'm liberal. Oh, bullshit. You would know what liberal meant if it bit you on the ass. You better look after yourself. I mean, it's great. You can go get your leg if it's broken or something like that. Anything complicated, or they tell you, this is complicated. In other words, you don't want to learn and you just get your paycheck and fuck everybody else. Ugh. Sorry about the cussing. That's $2. I got it. $2. I got to throw in the jar. Yeah, I'll get a call about that cussing today. Especially if my little granddaughter's watching or something. Yeah, people from other countries always envy our healthcare. Yeah, those stupid people. I often tell them they are not truly knowledgeable on our system. Just because it's free doesn't mean it's good. It's awful. Our prime minister has a hard day at work today. I'm glad I'm not him. No word yet what he's going to do. Well, the next one's not going to be any better. I mean, you know what? I've come down to it where the only reason you're allowed to vote is because it doesn't mean anything. You either got hamburgers or cheeseburger. Oh, and you might have some fries over here. Who goes to a restaurant like that? No one. But that's our political system. You either vote conservative, liberal, or there's these green people over there. Is that much of a menu? Really? No. What's going to replace this Trudeau fella? Ain't going to be any better. Most likely is worse. Yeah. So I don't do politics, and I don't do religion. Spirituality is a different story. I like spirituality, but any of the religions, not for me, man. Any of the politics, not for me. I'm not in their little circle that go counterclockwise, dude. Oh, all of a sudden we're going clockwise. That's all it is. It's not. It's not for you get involved in the hype and programming. Oh my God. By the time you're done, you got a headache and you're ready for a freaking insane asylum. Natural healthcare prevention is not free, just the drugs to help you after you're messed up. Yeah. Sometimes you can't find it in Canada because you have to find one around where you are living. Again, orchestration. That's orchestrated. That's nonsense. There are so many doctors that work at this health authority. None of them have seen a patient in 20 years. Yeah, there's hundreds of them, and they never see a patient. I got to listen in on a private phone call from a nurse to a doctor, and it was an internal medicine doctor. And you know what he says? It's not one of those that lives on the street, is it? One of those? I thought, you piece of shit, piece of crap. And you're the one that's the emergency internal medicine doctor? 4 people that come in from the street? Like, it just made me sick. And I had to go see his compadre recently. Ugh, make me sick. Emergency care, trauma care has to be good. They are on their spot. Yeah, they are. The trauma care people are, and are good most of the time. Wait time still sometimes. Yeah. Paramedics are awesome. Trauma care, when you first go in, they're beautiful. And then it slows down as you get to meet the tier going up to the top of the pyramid. That's when, no, we're not giving you a resection. We're not doing that. That's $300,000. They don't tell you that, but oh no, you just go off and get your, you go get your radiation over there, or you go, but you're requesting it removed, but they don't do it because you don't know what to do about it. They know that you can do something about it, but you don't. See? And they have an obligation to do something about it, but you don't know how to enforce that obligation. Well, if you want to enforce that obligation, you go to the College of Physicians and Surgeons and you write a real nice note that's notarized from your lawyer and asking a question, why isn't this being adhered to? I'll guarantee you that College of Physicians and Surgeons, they have a Hippocratic oath to Canadian government, the parliament, and its people, and you will get an answer. But until you do that, there will be no answer for you. And you just get into the queue and croak. Good luck. Welcome to Canadian free healthcare. I sure hope whoever replaces him isn't worse. Of course it will be. We can't handle worse as a country. We're falling apart. Well, you can't buy a house. You can't work enough to pay the rent. How much worse can it get? Well, you're going to be homeless. That's why just about every live stream, I tell people, caves are rent and mortgage free. Solar bag for a shower, human manure toilet right out there, solar panel right there, cave right there. Man's first home was a cave, and it will be again. Some care has organizations and they need money to make things run. We shall put it. Yep, that's true. And yes, we don't need government in here. No, not much use for it. Add 2,000, okay, $2,000, $20,000 to your living expense if you live in the U.S. I have friends in Michigan that would like to retire but work for health care. Exactly. That's exactly it, Dave. Right? But the thing is, look after yourself. Don't eat processed food. And the motivational doc, Dr. Mendel's for everyone, or Dr. Paula Ruffin. I mean, these people show love and they tell you what to do and what's good for you, and just follow their advice. Very simple. I'm building something in my side yard, even if it's a greenhouse, that would be helpful. Well, yeah. If you got a second lot, I'd be throwing up a 15 by 15 cob house with a cob oven that heats the cob house. There's nothing illegal about it. Yeah. Yep. Cob oven's beautiful. Food made in a cob oven that heats a cob bench into your cob house. Oh, what? You need a solar panel for a little lighting? Oh, okay. Right? And a cob house is the easiest house you'll ever build, and it's the cheapest. Everything's right there: the clay, the sand, the hay, the water, any of the wood you need. Try to use pine or cedar. Cedar's best, but if you don't have it, pine will do. I love cob, brilliant building material. I adore it. I dream about it all the time. I daydream about cob. And then when I find a cob house, I'm like, oh man, I salivate. I watched them being built. I've inspected dozens and dozens of them. Yeah. And I've found cob house that didn't work because it was built improperly. Too much moisture was used, or too much sand, or the wrong time of year building it. There's a whole host of not enough overhang. You need 4 or 5 feet overhang on a cob house on the West Coast. You don't want water hitting your cob. That's a problem. It's just going to erode. I see people in the desert making cob houses, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're going to be fixing that forever because they don't have an overhang. I don't even watch your channel, and they're super big, and I love them. I've sent them goodies before and stuff. just to help them out when they first showed up. And they built this cob. They're constantly fixing it, constantly. That's not what cob's about. I don't need a job the rest of my bloody life, right? I just need a cob house. And if you build it wrong, you've wasted a lot of material and time and a little bit of money. Good idea, Wild. You don't have to spend much. Enclosed fires are all good. Yeah. I'm building something in. I got to move my little. There we go. I got a little magnifying thing on there so I can see. Make it by Mandy. I've seen people who put a coating over the cob house. That's linseed. I can't remember the material they used, but it's whitish. I don't think that's linseed. Makes the cob last through severe rains. Well, that's something I don't know about. Yeah. On my community page is a link to some geodome greenhouses I visited in a forest. I saw that. That was very cool. I'm not a geodesic fan, but what you showed was cool. I never liked Buckminster Fuller. I thought he was just an awful person. And Albert Einstein used to make fun of him, so because he didn't like him either. Lime plaster, yeah, you can put that over cob. I thought it was something I didn't know, but yes, that's it. Well, yeah, lime plaster. But even lime plaster, that's not sure. You must have a living roof on a tilt like that, and then the cobs down here. Okay. And it doesn't matter where you live. You need that. So when the water goes onto the living roof, comes over here, goes down a rain barrel, it never hits your cob. Your cob stays dry. Right. And on the west, I'm talking about the West Coast here. Now, if you're somewhere else like in Arizona with a Pueblo, that's a different story, or whatever, or rammed earth or whatever you're doing. But on the West Coast here, you better have that extended over roof and living roof. And that's it. I mean, I've seen 1,000-year-old houses like in southern France and in the Middle East. And why are they 1,000 years old? Well, they're made from stone and mortar. That's why. Stone and cob, whatever you want to call it. Is it Salt Spring where a couple built a huge cob? There's several over there. There's one in the Highlands here. The guy spent $150,000 building it. And the reason why he had to spend $150,000 because he went with all the local boneheads. Oh, you want a countertop? $40,000. Really? Oh, Jesus. What's made of gold? 150 grand later, he had his 2-story cob house, and it looks beautiful. And he charges $20, him and his wife, to go for a tour. If you want to tour it on certain days of the month, give them $20, and lots of people do. Lots of people show up. I just looked at it and just went, I'm not giving you $20 to look at that. I'm just not. If it was like built by himself and not without all these boneheads, I most likely would have given them I've given $50 before for a cob house tour because I had to see it. It was one the Japanese had built here and I'm not going to say where it is, but they're very private, and they were nice enough to allow me to go there. And then they fed me. I gave them $50, and they fed myself and a family member beautiful food like you wouldn't believe. I mean, we ate more than $50 worth of food. But I brought gifts too. So in some cultures, you have to bring gifts to show how much you love them. And so I brought gifts. I loaded up with everything that I could possibly bring, like from the food forest and, food wise, and brought it to them that was ripe and ready to eat. I didn't want to bring something they had to ripen off, or I wanted the best for them. And I did purchase a couple things early too. And for $50, was the best tour of my life. One thing though, you weren't allowed to take a photograph or have a recording device. Yeah. They really liked it that I was into permaculture. They said, "Oh, yeah, can we have a tour from you? Like, can you tour our property?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, you can't take any pictures or anything." I said, I don't even care about taking pictures. I said, "I'd love to." So they had like a pond there they were not using. So I gave them a ton of ideas on that. I told them to get rid of all the tires. So that's toxic. Like there's just a shitload of tires holding in the mountainside. I'm like, why? Why not just plant it and remove the tires? Like before you remove the tires, plant in between the tires, like willows, pampas grass, whatever the hell you got to do to hold that hillside together. But I sure as the hell wouldn't have that above where I'm living. It's all that's draining down. So they're like, oh yeah, they're taking notes, man. They're taking notes right away. And they were asking me a lot of technical questions like like about swales and stuff. And I was just like, I'm like, well, you should look it up. Like I've never built a swale. This was years ago. And they're like, I knew of them. They hold back water catchments and stuff. It's the hold back water for going downhill. And they were on a hillside, but they were really really nice to me, and they still today send me greetings and stuff, like at Christmas and stuff, and sometimes throughout the year, their holidays or something, and they've sent me invitations to come back too, and so that's pretty cool. And I've been back a couple of times now. Other than that, and they have other ones built now, but they build it like you would not believe. I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect. I purred like a cat seeing it. Yep. Salt Spring, you'll see a lot of stuff, Mandy, that you would not see here. Yeah, a lot of people live in schoolies, school buses, and ambulances that were converted. There's people that live in cob houses, tree houses. They don't go around talking about it, okay? Because then you got the CRD showing up. Well, you can't have that. I thought I was going to sneeze. Yeah, I made friends with them. I have mental pictures. That was, yep. That was very good. I think I'm ready for another coffee and a smoked salmon. And no Shawnee Grows. I wanted to congratulate her. Huh, too bad. Yeah, she usually shows up. But I wanted to congratulate her that she was the first one in on the Privet berry. Yeah. Want to put character back into this old house, natural place next door. Smart. That's cool. That's nice. You made friends with them. Oh yeah, make friends wherever you go with good people. On YouTube too, wherever you are. Hang on to someone that's good. You hang on to them for dear life. Tie a knot and hang on. Yep. Because you just don't find that everywhere or anywhere. Do I have some cedar growing and some? I do have some cedar growing and some is dead and standing. Nice. That's what you want. That's the substance right there, cedar. That's the best there is. or pine is second best. Pine's not very strong though, but it can be if it's heated up. Do your research. God, I wish you were my neighbor. I'd be over every day. Where's the coffee? Where's the project? Here you can't do a project because everybody rats everybody out. It's incredible to see. They tattletale, hey, see you in trouble. It's pathetic. Yeah. Well, I don't want to put that up. That's my secret words. What? No, here it is. Maple and cherry here too, or very close by. Yeah, you heat it up. Heat it up. You heat the wood up, and the fibers will come together and be way stronger. Hey, but cherry's pretty strong anyway. That's really heavy wood too. Maples is when it's soft and fresh, it's very weak. It's easily broken, but it can be heated up. You have to excuse me. I am going to disappear. Look at that. I'm faster than Houdini. Yeah, it was. It's nice to go and see, construction of Cobb House or rammed earth. I like rammed earth too. I have good neighbors, but the one right behind me just went into a nursing home. That's too bad. We all end up there though, eh? Yep. When I was younger, I met this Jesuit priest that lived in the wilds in this cave. And you had to go down the side of this cliff to get to his place. And it wasn't for the faint at heart to climb down there. It was a very rustic climbing stair trail type thing. And it was way out in the middle of nowhere, but he always liked some goodies. So I dropped him off goodies once in a while. He was a fine gentleman. He lived off the land right there. He never left. He made his own soap. He made his own food, grew his own food, caught his own fish. He had his goats and sheep, and he didn't care. He didn't even own the land. It was just the way it is. I like blackberries for a fence line. Nothing goes through it. We need to tidy up the fence line. Yeah, he's a good guy, stays to himself, but chatted over the fence. Nice. Nice. It's too bad he's gone. Well, it's Monday. Time for a tune up on the old car. That old car is like 15, 16 years old and just runs like a top. Oh, doesn't even have 100,000 kilometers on it. So it's like a new car. He loved having the goats and the chickens right behind him. I gave him free eggs. Nice. I think we have the same car. I think we do. But mine has over 250,000 kilometers on it. Yeah, well, I didn't drive anywhere with mine. I'm glad he enjoyed it all too. Yep. Kindness and goodness is all you got. That's free. And you were kind and you had goodness for the man. And people remember you, especially when they pass away and fill out a will. Oh, yeah, I remember that really nice lady that had chickens. You wouldn't believe how many people have left me money. You wouldn't believe it. Like, I looked after a lot of people. And if you're always kind and you're always good, I heard a knock on the door a little while ago and I got handed a fat check. I'm like, cool. And the person died like a year or two ago. But I always went by and said, hey, how you doing? Here's your mail. Found him wandering around in the neighborhood with his house coat on. And I'm like, okay, you got to come home now. Right? Because I'm out walking the dog or whatever, out for my walk. And people get dementia and stuff, so you just got to bring them home and call their parents, right? I keep hearing a rooster outside. It's not me, I promise. I remember when you had chickens, Howie. Will you get chickens again? Yes. I'm not looking at layers though. I'm looking at the the fryers, like meat birds. I'm not interested in. See, they have a purpose for me to clean up the forest floor, Mandy. They go through and eat all the bugs. It's the balance, right? They go through and eat everything. They eat all the greenery, everything, clean it all up. And it looks like I've tilled it, but I haven't. My buddy calls it the shallow till when you have chickens. You won't do dual purpose birds? No, no, I'm not interested. I don't have to. Eggs are like, how many people here have chickens and have eggs? Lots, tons. I get them free all the time. And you know what? I find it's all great, but you become friends with these Rhode Island red chickens. They're like little pals of yours, and you can't eat them, even though they're dual purpose bird. You just can't eat them. They're pets. So I don't plan on having pets this time. This time around, it's fatten up that chicken and then bring them all to the abattoir. Or I want 50, but I'm only allowed to have 6 here, so I got to make it look like there's 6 next door 6, and 6 that way. By the time 6 here, that's you get up to the 50 count pretty fast with all the neighbors and stuff claiming they own 6 of them, right? So then you just have to look at it like that, because and then perhaps don't even show it to anybody. They might hear they're a bit noisy, but I mean, if you don't see it, you can't complain about it. Rooster, if you had a rooster here, you're going to have some people from the bylaw show up. They don't tolerate roosters here, not at all. It's interesting enough, right? No, I won't do dual purpose bird. I'm not interested in that. Nope. One thing I do like though is quail and pheasants. Oops. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. Oops. One thing I do like is quail and pheasants. They look after themselves. You don't have to do anything. They just fly up into the tree or fly into the next yard. And most of my neighbors I get along with pretty good, but there's always that one that might injure your birds. I have a flock of quail, California quail, that come and go from here all the time. I have morning doves that come here all the time. I have a blue heron that's out here in the tree. I have raccoons. I have Cooper's hawk, kestrels. There's a ton of I just had a herd of deer come. I thought they were gone. I hadn't seen them for a long time, but a whole herd came, and they were nice. They were very friendly. They were eating the apples there. I put out a bunch of apples and stuff from the tree that I didn't use this year. Like one's got a little bruise on it or whatever, a little bit of scab. I just don't want it in my pile of apples. So I put it out there and I chopped up a few, and then I noticed the bunnies started eating it first, these cottontails, and I went, cool. And then I seen when the bunny was finished eating the apple, like just opening it up, here comes the American dipper, doop, 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 eating it. And I'm like, oh, my doggy's back. But there's a lot of wildlife here. Like there's a lot of lizards. They're cool. They're very cool. But I accidentally limed them last year. I didn't want any. When I redid I had the lower part of the house redone and needed work. And then the lime that was used afterwards to lime everything, the lizards didn't fare so good. I was sad to see them all crunched up. I didn't get notifications. I just saw you were on. Well, let's go see if that is Arlene. And she's into stones and rocks and polishing them. And it is. There we go. And I'm subscribed and I've watched videos. So here you go, Arlene. Bing bada boom. You're going to be. Oh, I didn't have something. I didn't have the bell clicked. I did it. Hi, Arlene. How you doing? Arlene goes to a friend of mine's channel and that's where I met Arlene some little while back. Yeah, they're in the rock hounding. Yeah. Maybe if I did that. What's that? Oh, it's one of the paintings. Oh, yeah, coffee. It's Monday morning. I did a bunch of cooking videos and shorts. Everyone's day. It's quite warm here. It's 8 degrees Celsius here, so that's about 40, I guess, or so where you are. They go by Fahrenheit, so yeah, 19 here. 19. Wait a minute. You sure? 19 Fahrenheit's pretty cool. 27 Fahrenheit there. Oops. Yeah, 19's pretty cool, man. That's cold. I thought you were like in Arizona or something. I didn't. I'm new to your channel. I've been there a couple times, but you've been to yes in Arkansas. Of course, in Arkansas it can get cold. It can have snow. Yeah. My friend Bull there. He's in Florida, I think Florida, and he just made it back home. He was out doing some looking after his investments, say, and I seen him picking lemons. I was just like, oh man, Bull. He's a nice guy too. Born and raised in South Florida. Arlene Laconelli. Sounds Italian. Yes, in Arkansas. Yes, it is. Yep. Well, we all had to come from somewhere on this whole planet Earth. That tree book I recommended, but books these days are getting harder and harder to see. Who kissed Greek? Someone just a calendar, right? Oh yeah, I've got a new calendar. Check out the sky shot. January 1st. Yeah. Nice sky shot, hey? And the whole thing is all sky shots. So I usually have the Japanese Ikebana flower arranging calendar, but Arlene Laconelli says, hey, Wild. And Arlene, our big place is in the Northeast Arizona near, I don't know what that says. I gotta move that. Oh, I'm in at the Tennessee place right now. Oh, cool. Oops. 400 pages of trees. Very nice to have to look trees up. Yeah, I had to break out my tree books too. I'm like, it was driving me crazy, that privet berry. And here it is. It's a weed that's nauseous and it's absolutely, all the videos I watched on the privet berry in the universities and stuff said, oh yeah, destroy it, kill it, even cut it off, put Roundup on it. Every single one of them in their own way. Vegetation control. Well, that's what vegetation control is to a lot of them people, but I sure learned a lot. Off topic, but dogs are so smart. My dog knows that when I'm making a coffee in my to-go cup, it means I'm leaving for work soon. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. 5:55 a.m. Howie, what are you doing, buddy? That privet is a weird one to me. The one here is very invasive and take over too easily. Yeah, they all do that. Sub your channel. Oops. Yeah, use different wording for AI there. You're smarter than artificial intelligence. Oh, that note. Much love to everyone. I'm heading off to work. Big hugs. Mwah. See you, sweetheart. Have a great day. Plant a pine tree above it to block out the light. It won't grow or will spread out under the tree. Well, I was thinking of that. And I was thinking, well, what about like walnut, right? Like the black walnut. Nothing lives underneath there unless it's like, black cap raspberry or something like that. It kills everything. So you're thinking that's good. I wish Shawnee Gross would come on here so I can say congratulations. You were the first one to mention what it really was. Well done. And Wild Edibles was a second runner up. That's just pretty darn good. I think Wild would have made it anyway, but permaculture, the bushes only survive on the outside of a forest. Arlene, there we go. You guys aren't smarter than AI. Obviously, you said the S word. I got to get over to Oops's channel. I've been meaning to do that. Have a good look around. I know it's a very good channel. I like to once in a while go and check out channels. I check all channels out, but I like to go and Mandy's already gone there, Arlene. And Mandy does creative things like just go and look. It's really cool. She doesn't have a huge channel, but she's very creative. She grows a little bit of food. She can fix her own car. And not only could she buy her own flowers, but I think she can grow them too. I check them all out too. I try to support other creators. Yeah. You know what? I'm a little different than that. I used to be like that. So now I just go and I watch it and I hit the notification and then I'll get to see something. But there's no way you could support there's 1.3 billion people on YouTube now. So I just pump out my information on soil building and planting and harvesting, a little bit of cooking now. I seem to be dwelling towards more cooking because that's what I'm being encouraged by friends and family and even, my YouTube family. They're encouraged, let's see how you did this or how you did that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm not the best at making videos either because I don't know how to edit. I really don't want to know because I'm leaving. Yes, you're cooking. So thank you. You're too kind. Well, I have 120, so I can still do it. Laugh out loud. You're way bigger. Oh, I don't know about that. I've been on here coming March 15th, 10 years, and that's my exit cue. A friend of mine just went off YouTube for 3 months. My buddy looks great. He stayed away from everything. And he just feels good and he's lost weight. He looks healthier. I'm like, okay, that's for me. Wow, oops, that sucks. Whoa. Wild Edibles. The privet here takes over even in the thickest of woods. I noticed that they were really, when they branched out, I went and had another look. I haven't done a video yet, but I went and had another look. And when it branched out, there was nothing living in between it. And I was just like, and it was dense. Yeah. This time, what? Wild Edibles. The privet here takes over even in the thickest of woods. This time of year, you see green everywhere near ground. It's 99 chance privet. Yeah, this thing's got leaves on it, so yeah, it's definitely privet. Wow, oops, that sucks. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, had to let the dogs back in. Well, that's a good thing. And I hear it's really cold. You know, if you ever see a dog tied up, chained up, and left day after day, and that owner of that dog is not right in the head, you can Privet is evil here. Yep, yep. I'm not a fan now that I know how toxic it is. But Uncle Al was dead on right from the start, right from the get go. The firecracker hit, and boom. He said, "Nope, that's poisonous. Nope," and he was adamant all the way through. I can't wait to see him too. But it was Sean Egros that came in with it, and other people came in with different ideas on the but it is privet berry, I can assure you. But it looks so much similar to several berries, and even the leaves look similar. And the flowers didn't, but who the hell's going to see flowers in the middle of wintertime? All I could see is the berries, right? So yeah, so yeah. Oops, oops. Privet is evil here. Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to eat that berry. I'm just not gonna. They are not. No, they are not. They're not edible. But Uncle Al, he was dead. He was like, no, no, no. And he was telling stories about Romans and everything else, but he was dead right on, man. And then everybody else had to go and figure it out, right? I don't think Al knew the name of it, but Al knew the look of it, and that's everything. And you pass on that. You pass on that. He's got so much in his brain, man, and he's got a lot of health issues too. So if you ever see Dyed Bullfrog 79, wish him the best and say something nice. He likes it when people say nice things. He always says, leave a nice comment. Like, why waste your time with vulgarity or racism or bigotry? You're nuts, right? So he always says, leave a nice comment. He's so Japanese. Japanese are like that. Laugh out loud. I do use the really strong wood for things, but it's everywhere and almost unstoppable. It is. It really is. Well, when you have aerial drones that spray Roundup to kill privet, there's got to be something to it, right? Yeah. Some just have hate in their hearts and can only think of mean things to say. Yeah. Weird. I understand, though. It's a pain body they hang on to, and it gives them a dopamine, and endorphins come off, a dopamine release. Because I hate that guy. I'm going to do this. I feel better. You just got a dopamine release. The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is fear. So these people fear you when they put stuff down. They fear what you do, what you say, and they live in fear, and it's sad. I give them a big hug. Hey, there you are. You're the talk of the town. I never got a notification. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. Anyway, you're the first one in with the privet, and it is a privet, and it is exactly what you said. Wild Edibles was second, and I'm giving third to Uncle Al because he didn't know the name of it, but he knew it was toxic, and he was adamant all the way through. If you look at the comments and when I seen him later and stuff, and he was very adamant that no, that is not a berry for anybody to eat. But anyway, well done. Oh, I watched a ton of videos, and I learned from that and some of my books. And then the big smash hitter was stuff that the Wild Edibles sent. And Wild Edibles sent some videos and photographs and stuff like that. And so, but time all the accumulation and yours was the big lead that was the privet. I didn't know what it was privet, and there was other people that considered it other stuff too, like black cherry. One guy and this other lady said no, it's a blackberry, and I'm like, it's kind of obvious. And then And some other people recognize it as close to a conia berry. They said, "Oh yeah, it's a conia berry," but if you had eaten it as a conia berry, you wouldn't be here. So, eh, yeah, well done, Shawnee Gross. Congratulations. You were first in. You did it. You've got the energy to do it. You're going places there, fellow Earthling. I could almost call you an Earth warrior, but I haven't seen your bow and arrow yet. So no, I'm just kidding. You're definitely an Earth warrior. You're. I'm glad I've met you on YouTube. Thank you kindly for being you. Well done. Wonderful mystery solved. Yeah, well, you were the lead. So laugh out loud, Earth Warrior. Well, that's what I call people that look after the planet and do research. And you have a worm bin and you have a compost or pathway soil bank, and you're looking at how nature makes soil and how nature works. That makes you an Earth Warrior. And kindness and goodness, which you do have. You're a little rough around the edges, but you'll do. Just kidding. I dug up a bunch of videos on it. I've never seen it myself. It's interesting plant, Shawnee, but yeah, no good. Yeah, it can be used for burning and construction, but not that there's much to them unless they're really tall ones. And this one over here is, I'm probably as tall. It might be a little taller than me. Yeah, Arlene, don't use the words that SEUBBED word. Say you left flowers at your chattel or something. Please, thank you kindly, Arlene. If you don't know Arlene, go over there, check her out. She's a rockhound collector, and she goes to a good friend of mine's channel. Privet used to make dyes, I think. Yes, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There was uses for it. I'm into food and plants as well. Just started with rocks, plan to add plants, etc. to my channel. Well, you're doing very well. It was very well laid out and presented. I rather liked it. Privet was used to make dyes. Yeah, absolutely. Arlene, thanks for visiting. Absolutely. Yes, visit everyone's channel and pollinate them. There's a word. You're smarter than artificial intelligence. I know you are. But on a more serious note, I'm glad I never tried those berries and I didn't feel right like about trying them. And the lead on that they were toxic was from Uncle Al. He was adamant right from the get-go. I wouldn't eat that and don't eat it. That was his instructions. Darth X, I've never heard of Privet. Neither did I until just a week or so ago. And I didn't know what the heck it was. So I thought, and I looked at a bunch and I came close and stuff, but I'm like, I can't. This is so similar to other berries. It's like, is this a hybrid or something dark? But Shawnee Gross was lead on that, and a sharp second was Wild Edibles, and Uncle Al was there all the way that it was toxic. So I had some really good advice from some really good people, a bunch of Earth warriors. Yeah, I've never heard of Privet. Well, you have now. And oh yeah, by the way, good morning, Darth X. Good to see you. I don't know if I don't know it. I don't eat. Right, Arlene. Arlene, right. Yeah. If you don't know it, don't touch it. It's the same with mushrooms. The same with any plant. Don't go over there fondling the plant. Oh, this look pretty. All of a sudden you got this rash, and then you touch your face or your private area, and you go bathroom. Not good with poison ivy. And there's a lot worse than poison ivy out there too, like hogweed. That'll burn a hole in you, or euphorbia. Oh man, that'll blind you and kill you just from touching it. Did you know that even if some types of euphorbia, if you walk on it, it gives off a gas and your eyes and face looks like a pumpkin? Yeah. It happened to me, so that's how I know. It's brutal. You're looking in the mirror and your face is this big and you can't see. Someone's got to walk you to the car. And that came on just in a matter of hours. That came on. And I went to hospital, and this really cool Swedish doctor. I'm in the chair, and they've got these big lights on me. It's this little tiny hospital out on the peninsula, and he jumps up onto the chair, and he's like, he's like, "What happened?" And I said, "Well, I was landscaping, and this happened." And he's like, "Yeah, it's euphorbia." And I'm like, "How do you know?" He goes, "Oh, from my college days." He's it's right in Switzerland or Sweden or wherever he was in Europe. I think it was Swiss. And I'm like, "You know?" He's like, "Yeah." And like, I was totally impressed that he actually knew what it was. Very impressed. There's a privet tincture in certain cultures toolbox. Yeah, it's psychoactive or something too, I heard. I hear all kinds of stuff on it. Yes, just the dew that is on them touching you can. Yeah, the euphorbia. There's other ones like hellebore, and they're blooming right now. They bloom in the winter time, and and well, they can give you a lobotomy, hey, to send you back to infancy. Why would you want to eat that? Yeek. And then there's no cure either. There's other plants too that in my locale. So what I did years and years ago was I learned every single toxic plant in my locale. I figured the rest got to be good to go on, whether it's for medicinal or food staple, whatever. But I learned every single toxic one, and yeah, yeah. And hellebore. Well, there's the Indian hellebore or native hellebore, I should say, to be more correct, and give people respect when it's due. And that was used by shamans here for many things. But there's a lot of plants that have been introduced. They're called deer proof, and the reason why they're called deer proof is because deer won't eat them. Well, there must be a pretty darn good reason why the deer don't eat that, right? A real good reason. Yeah, yeah. But I think the worst one that I've seen that's been planted way too much, toxic mushrooms. Oh yeah, there's lots of them. But the one that's planted here the most is the hellebore. There's a whole society here in my city dedicated to them. Nuts, and they're huge society. And you know, I'm not a fan. The euphorbia, there's thousands of species of euphorbia, and Bill Mollison talked about euphorbia too. He used it to keep out monkeys from coming into the forest in Africa and stealing the food, and marauders, because you brush up against euphorbia and touch it, and that little milky white sap will burn a hole in you. And then there's so many different kinds. They're all super toxic. And the only thing on the planet that ever eats euphorbia is a hedgehog. They can eat it. No other animal or microbe or anything has anything to do with euphorbia because it's just toxic. It's toxic. Did I mention it's toxic? I looked up toxic mushrooms first. Yep, deer proof, smells like poison to them. Exactly, Dart. Like the live. Hey, Simran, welcome, welcome, welcome. I didn't see you come in there. Hello. Ah, weird. Yep. I have seen deer, horses, says, and rabbit eat the bark of these privet in winter around here. Interesting. Most likely goats would eat that too then. Simran, hello, Howie. Hello, Simran. And Arlene says, good morning, good evening from India, friends. Yep, Howie, I saw your cabbage rolls. It was delicious. Oh, thank you. I just put up the last one there and dedicated it to a good friend on YouTube and chef there, Chef Bliss, and I go and I watch her videos once in a while, and Chef comes over, watches mine, and we go to a channel there. And just a great human being. I like great human beings. There's lots of great human beings in here. And thank you kindly, Simran. Simran Gardening Vlogs. I drop by there once in a while, and they'd like to build channels, and they talk about gardening and soil building. Lately, they've been into talking about soil quite a bit. Well, Simran has, and yeah, it's great to see. Nice dedication. Thank you kindly. Our goats eat everything and anything. Yeah, right. I've seen goats eat the bark right off a tree, any tree. They did look amazing, the cabbage rolls. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have 4 or 5 left out of all that I shared with several people, family, friends, neighbors. Yeah, yeah, and even a person I didn't know. Well, you make a big pot. You're only going to eat one, two, three of them, and then the next day you might eat one, two, or three, and you have 25. But it was just fun making them all. You know, I had fun. The chipmunks ate his carnations. Deer eat my dad's roses in town. He was looking into deer-proof plants, but sticks to the roses. Yeah, the deer will come and eat all the leaf foliage on a rose bush and eat the flowers. And they'll eat lilies. They don't necessarily eat white lilies though, because they're super toxic. But any other lily is for grabs. There's a lot of bulbs too that are good eating, and then there's some bulbs like the death camas that you wouldn't really touch that. Hey, GP, how's it going, buddy? Just watched your video on your exercises and keeping in shape video. Well done. I can't do those things that you do. I got some pretty good balance, and I can do a push up or a sit up, but you take it to a new edge when you're walking around on your hands and stuff. Well done. Hope all is well. I love farm to table food, so every time you do the food videos, I'm drooling. Those prawns look good too. Yeah, I like wild foods, foraged foods. And that was the whole thing about that last privet berry. Oh, you're most welcome there, Guardian Prepping. Garden Prepping has a new channel called Garden Prepping, and I've actually put a playlist for uh, Guardian Prepping. It's called Guardian Prepping. Its new channel is called Garden Prepping. That's a jawful. But anyway, so if anybody wants to go over and look at Guardian Prepping, he has another channel too on permaculture. He's a young permaculturalist, but he's a middle-aged guy, and he's got it going on. You could learn a lot from that guy. I love where we go. I love farm to table food. Yep. Yeah, I like wild foods. And that was what the prawns were. They were spotted prawns from the West Coast. They're absolutely delicious. And the new prawning season's coming up. So my son-in-law, which is a commercial fisherman, he always brings me a ton of stuff. It's beautiful. And he even arranged it if when I when something was to happen, like one moment. Intermission. Yeah, intermission. I am vegetarian, so I made rice, lentils, and veggies in it and pressure cooked. Nice, 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 nice. I love vegan food. I go out to a vegan restaurant and I make my own vegan food. but I don't go just to any place. I need to see the kitchen, the prep area. I'm just not going to go in there and eat. I want to see everything and what's going on, or I just ain't come in here. Simple as that, right? But yeah, I eat um, I eat wild foods or free ranged food. But other than that, and foraged food and from organic farm, I don't go and buy food like at Wally World or something like that, unless it's to give away or something. Like the discount rack at Walmart is pretty cool at times. It doesn't last long. All that stuff is like half price. Simran, I said, yeah, to you, yeah, as well. Love the sunflowers. Great. Try to use the word. Don't use the S word. Try to say you left a flower, please. Thank you. Nothing better than growing, picking, cooking yourself. Exactly, Arlene. Exactly. And vegetarians they have a lot of good dishes. And is there a new plant you want to grow in 2025? That's a good question. That's a very good question, Shawnee Grows. Yes. I don't know if it's new plant, but I'm looking at growing a lot of watermelon because watermelon has citrulline in it, and that's why it's so good for people. It converts to arginine, and then it converts to nitric oxide, and it helps with your internal. Yeah, I'm going to grow a lot of watermelon. I want to grow potato onions. Never heard of those. Watermelon, yay. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at is a lot of watermelon, cucumber, and different melons and squash. I'm going for the vines. That's because that's what I have. I have a small half acre here. So anything growing on a vine, up a shrub or a tree, that's for me. It's yeah. Shawnee grows. Hey there, Shawnee. Yep. Gardening prepping. Good to see you. Yeah. So yeah, watermelon is going to be high priority. And there was something else too. Well, I'm making a lot of air layered trees for my vicinity here. I've been lucky that now that people understand that I have all the food they want it too. So they're allowing me to grow on their boulevards and the fronts and the sides and the hedges. I'm like, okay. So I'm decided I'm not going to put money into it, but I will put some time and I will make air layered clones from what I have. And I'm going for it. I've been doing that sparingly here and there because, you go doing things, people get clicky and I don't really want nothing to do with it. I have to try to grow okra again. Ugh, I don't like okra. A lot of people do. I found it. Ew. I'm not giving up. That's the only vegetable I don't eat is okra. I eat everything else, but I don't eat okra. I tried it crispy. Ugh. I tried it deep fried. I tried it raw. And, ew. I just can't do it. And a lot of people love okra, but poor Howie here doesn't agree with Howie. Hey, Bill. Newfound Drone Productions. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Arlene says, I tried okra. They did well. Only issue is I had was always ways to cook it. I only like them deep or pan fried. Yeah, I don't like any of it. Yuck. Sorry. I tried it like 4 or 5 times over the years, and I just, for some reason, it just does not agree to me. And hiya, Bill, and hiya, Bill says hiya, Bill to Wild, Shawnee, and Arlene. Bill saying hello. I think I've tried one. I haven't got it growing yet. Like 5 years in a row, bugs eat it here too. Yeah, yeah. I have tried growing it, and I was successful. And then I just bit out the plant, and I was like, that's not for me. Stewed. Really stewed? I probably will, one day try it where I like it, but it's the only thing that I don't like. I like okra. It tastes better homegrown. Store okra is gross. See, that's a problem. Yeah, I tried it. They had bought it from a store, or I did. And I didn't like it. I grew it before, and because I had the experience with the store stuff, I don't think I even chewed on it very long. I spat it out. Hubby likes it stewed. Oh, yeah. Same as ground cherries. I grew them once and really don't like them. Oh, I like ground cherries. They're delicious. I thought I would. You know what? That's the one in the paper sack, right? And you got to wait for them to get yellow tan colored, and then they're sweet. Yep. I think I tried it raw, very slimy. I don't like that. Then I stewed it reminded me of chewing on those banana slugs years ago. The Germans here, they salted the banana slug. I was like, they thought it was the rage. They liked banana slugs and pine and chanterelle mushrooms and a few other things, fiddleheads and stuff. They'd make this big salad and they'd chop up these salted banana slugs. Oh, I tried it. Oh, I just went, that was really good. And I put it in my pocket, man. I'm like, screw that. No, thank you. I think my ground cherry plant is still going. Oh, I have one here, right over there. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's what I said. No, thank you. Ew, gross, 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 and gross. Yeah, more gross. Yeah, I have seen them online doing that. Ugh. I don't mind escargot. Now that's a snail. That's not a slug. Closely related though. And I like escargot. I like them cooked in goat's butter and in the shell, and I like goat's butter and parsley and olive oil. I want to try to grow some of the ground cherries. Well, once you grow them, they're never going away. They'll always be there, but they have a hard time. They actually need a lot of heat to grow really well all year round. I want to try to grow. Yeah. Hey, Marzetta's Yarn and Crafts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, mussels cooked in wine is the closest thing I can eat close to a slug. Now, they're not close to a slug, Bill, but they're not close at all. Of course, that's what, yeah. I grew up as a child getting mussels and cooking them, and we'd use the water from the ocean. See, so if you got a pot of mussels, you only put like about that much water in the bottom and get it boiling. Put the lid on for a couple 3 minutes, maybe longer, depending on your elevation, wherever you are, time of year, how cold it's out, blah 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 blah. And then at the very end, take some heavy cream with tons of dill in the heavy cream and just drop it in when you take the lid off. And then all that cream goes right through all the mussels right away. And it's got a dilly cream sauce, but it kind of curds up. And that's how I eat my mussels. Yummy. Oh, red wine will do too. Actually, I just cook them by the fire and eat them. But yeah, I should do a mussel recipe, hey? Yeah, because the fresh mussels are in from Salt Spring, the back of Salt Spring Island. There, they got big mussel farms, but you don't need to go to a mussel farm. There, just wait for low tide, and there's a bit of current. There's oysters, mussels, tons of clams here. Yeah, my friend said try this and shoved it in my mouth. I tried snails. Yeah, I don't mind escargot. I rather fond of it. It doesn't taste like that banana slug salted. Like that was freaking gross, man. That was disgusting. And ugh. But these guys that know how to cook, and these women, these German people I knew, they thought that was it. That they were in heaven eating that. Ugh. I hate it, but I have to run. Hey, slow walking is better for you than running. I hope everyone has a great day. Arlene, it was a pleasure. See you next time and have a great day. Yeah. Take care, Arlene. Thank you for being here. Mass the muscles, pass the muscles. Yeah. I like mussels too. Seafood is great, but I'm a simpleton. Give me queen prawns or calamari and I'm happy. I don't know what queen prawns are, but I know what prawns are, and you have to be careful when you buy prawns that they are local. If they're not local and they're farmed prawns, you're in some trouble because they use a lot of chemicals and crap, to grow that stuff. Ugh. You're welcome. You too. Hugs. Bye. Who's going? Someone's leaving. Arlene. Wild edibles. Yeah, I like calamari. I make my own. I make my own fish and chips. I make my own everything. I just don't like what other people make and give me. Some people, there's this one Chinese restaurant. Holy schmolians, man. I mean, it's top. You go in their kitchen, you could eat off the bloody floor. I'm like, wow. I'm looking, they're like, anything you'd like to see, sir? And I'm like, yeah, I'd like to see the kitchen. I got a tour. I was just like, man, this place is spotless. You see them over there washing the green beans, washing the piece. I'm like, there's love here. I'm like, holy, I'm shocked here because most restaurants, they don't care. They just pop it all into the deep fryer or the wok or whatever and just give it to you. These people were scrubbing, man. I was impressed. And then they had local food. And I'm like, I hadn't seen that for years. People actually went out and shopped at different farms and came there and processed there. I mean, you don't get that anywhere. Maybe like at a Chateaubriand or something like that, like a high end place. You might get that, but sure as hell ain't getting that at Choke and Puke and Timmy Hortons there or whatever. You ain't getting that, dude. You get some generic packaged crap, and your body's just freaking dying. Get out and get some real food. And food and family both begins with F. Is the most important thing you'll ever have. Foresight, right? Freedom. You got to like that F word. Like you can use it like that. Wish CR was here. Probably why mine are cheap. Calamari and shrimp come on sale here cheap. Yeah, don't buy that. Unless it says wild food on it, don't buy any of it. Pay a few extra dollars, save your money and get it. Go in on it with someone, buy it and share it. There's many ways around it. I absolutely like when I go to like a big box store and I see all their food. I don't buy any of it. I used to buy one thing, and that's lobster, Nova Scotia lobster at the big box store. I used to get a lobster like that for $14, a huge lobster, hey, until last year. Yeah. Food, fam, and adventure motorcycles. Probably why mine are cheap. Yeah. Food and family, man. That's where it's at. If you ain't got that, you ain't got nothing. So get some. Get some family. Get a village. Anybody can be your family if you think you're an earthling like them, right? There's these people I've been helping for years and stuff, and you don't see them all the time. I've been over their house. They're from the Middle East, and they are different than us. So you have to respect their culture, their religion. So you don't go up and hug a woman, and you don't even shake their hand. But I noticed that the men were hugging my family member. She's female, and they were shaking her hand. And I went, oh, no, 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 no. I said, it's got to be equal here. I said, you do know you're on the planet Earth, right? And the young son, he's about 25, 26 years old. He goes, what's planet Earth? I'm like, really? It's this little blue planet flying through space at tens of thousands of miles an hour, and you're on it. He's looking freaking horrified. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah. And his dad tells him in Arabic, yeah, you are. I don't speak a lot of Arabic. I don't speak much of any of it, but I could tell by the reaction on their face. And he's like, I'm from planet Earth, he says. I said, yeah. So that makes you an Earthling. He's like, I'm an Earthling to his dad. He's like, yeah. This guy's 25 or 26 years old. He didn't know he was on a planet zipping through space. For real. So I established ground rules years ago, and they respect that. And when the older elder seen me, said, "No, I know your religion too, and now this is my religion. No love from your woman, no love from my family female member." Well, now when they see me or with that family member, they're like, "Oh, hello." You establish right away. This is the boundary, man. Like, you have your rules, and I'll follow your rules. But when you don't follow your own rules, you're busted. They're nice people and all, but they're living in like the 10th century or some crap, man. They're not living in today's world. Food, famine, adventure motorcycles. Yeah. Well, we're at the 2 hour mark, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Earthlings, aliens from far off worlds. I must bid you adieu and farewell. And probably said too much, and I hope no one's butt hurt because I've seen a few people leave, but hey, I could be just, wrong. Simran, Howie, it's dinner time here. Good night. Simran, much love, mad respect. Good night. Good to see you. Always a pleasure. And enjoy your dinner. Have a lovely day, Howie. Gardening, prepping. Good to see you, GP. And Wild Edibles. And you're most welcome. You should get to know Simran. I'm hungry too. Time to go and eat. Darth X, always a pleasure. And if you're ever down in Victoria Waits, stop by. Send me an email and come on by. If I'm up where you live, I'll try to find your email and let you know I'm in town and come and see and say hello and have a coffee. Okay? Maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to be anonymous. I'm going up to the city and meet a few people from my YouTube village. And so you could be on the list. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that I'd like to visit. Yeah. I'm hungry too. Time to go and eat. Well, go and eat. Have a good one. End stream now. I always have trouble with that. Boy, oh boy. End stream now. There you go.